like J.Brock, cause I can score with a second on the clock.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J.Brock. It's Clapitup LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here with Pusha Rod, the friend of a friend, a professional homie, Mario, legend in the making, a real born stepper. And many of us know him from his club kiss parties and that one and only Push Inc. era. He's a former executive A&R of Interscope Records. And if you didn't know, shout out to Dreezy and Jeremiah. He's earned a platinum plaque. You know what I'm saying? Pusha Rod has A&R for some of the best of them. To name a few, RJ, YG, Kamaya, Moneybagg Yo, and the list goes on. He is the owner of Creative Push, the record label, where push means pray until something happens. And if you're an artist, that's something that happens. And we are currently sitting in his Creative Sounds recording studio, which consists of 4 recording studios, a production room, a creative space for photography, video, and podcast content. So be sure to tap in on Instagram at Creative Sounds Recording with a Z and book your next creative project. And I know you heard the term stay dangerous. Well, Pusha Rod says stay a bully. Stay a bully about your goals and dreams. Let's go. Pusha Rod, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. So happy to be sitting here with you, man. I did my homework. I got so much. Look at all this paper I went through. Just studying you and everything that you've had going on, man.
I appreciate it,
it's a beautiful situation to be sitting here next to you. Never thought that I would be next to anybody from Push Inc. You know what I'm saying, or from that legendary era. You feel what I'm saying? So, here's my thing, bro. Listening to your story and how much of a businessman you are, how like mature you are, and how you've always been such a hustler. It's incredible to see you standing here today and doing all the things you do, because I can tell the people that you've hung with, they've been doing big shit, because the stuff you speak about, how you want to own a Wingstop, you want to own what did you say, you want to own a Target, that's tycoon shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be sitting right here in front of it with this type of energy, bro. That means a lot. So we got to take it back, you know what I'm saying, to childhood, on the east side between Main and Broadway. I want to ask you something. There's a term, Eastie, right? How do you feel about that term?
Hey, man, I'm one of the flyest niggas off the east side, so that term don't, you feel me? Nah, I mean, that's a terminology that's been going around forever, but you know, we embrace it. Like, I got a homie, he called himself So Easy, you feel me? Mm-hmm. But it's really, people don't really understand the east side. A lot of people be scared to go to the east side, you feel me? But, you know, we all people. So, you know, come to the east side, come see, come have some fun. That's what I tell anybody.
I feel that shit. I spent a lot of time on the east side playing for the LA demos, you know what I'm saying, at Jefferson High
you
School.
was at Jeff.
Yeah, I was at Jefferson High School.
I was at Fremont. Them were the enemies.
Did you play some Pop Warner football up there?
I played Pop Warner football for the Inglewood Sentinels up at St. Andrews Park.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like my whole little family, low key, like from every side, somewhat every cousin or somewhat all played football at St. Andrews Park.
That's crazy. What position was you playing?
Back then, I started off. It's funny. I started off wanting to be a receiver, but I ain't had no hands. So I played, but I did know how to tackle, and I wasn't scared to hit. So I was playing linebacker. I played linebacker throughout Pop Warner, and when I first got to high school in JV, I switched to corner when they moved me up to varsity.
Really?
Yeah.
How was you at corner?
I was nice.
You was nice?
I was nice.
Oh, okay. Was you locking shit up? Anybody score a tub on you?
I was nice.
Okay, that's it. That's all. That's all you got to say. Keep it like that. Now, you would end up going to Bethune Middle School, right?
Yeah.
You said you had one pair of shoes in the 7th grade. One pair of shoes. And this is something that sparked that hustler in you. So when you go into school, you only got one pair of shoes. Did that affect your confidence every day about how you moved?
At a certain point, I would say, yeah, but at the same time, I knew that my grandma was doing the best she could, you know. It was actually my great-grandmother. She was helping raising me and my sister at the time. Mm-hmm. So, like, I knew she was doing the best she could, and if somebody had something to say, you know, I would defend myself, you know, not with my words, with my hands at that time. But, yeah, it was definitely a learning experience, and it was something that a hump that you had to get over, but I'm blessed that I got over that hump young, because I see a lot of people my age now that still don't have that type of hunger in them to go out and figure it out and do it themselves. Like, you can't always depend on somebody else to do something for you. You feel me? Even if they put you in position or if they're in position to help you, you have to figure out, all right, how can I get to the next step? And young, for me, that was hustling. That was going out, that was flocking. I was doing what I had to do to get where I needed to get the things that I needed just to feel comfortable to survive.
Man, I definitely understand that. At a certain age, it kind of take you to just understand you can't always ask for something that you want. And here's another thing too. I like that you said that it gave you a different type of hunger. As a kid, you get clowned for stuff like that. But a lot of those kids who clowning you, they will never grow up with the type of drive that you have in order to be successful. And that's crazy because I'm sure you've seen that.
Facts.
But okay, now I know mom's passed. How did that affect you as a kid?
Well, my mom passed when I was 1, so it's like
Okay.
I never really saw or understood how it affected me. I have an older sister. She was 5, going on 6 when my mother passed. So it took a very different toll on her and her life and her
Gotcha.
experience. But that's her story. I'll leave that for her.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I didn't really understand until I honestly knew. And I was older in age.
Okay, I feel that. So the effect was definitely different. Man, that's crazy, man. Prayers, though. You know what I'm saying? I can only
Facts. And
imagine, man.
I have some great aunties.
Yeah.
My aunties have stepped in and been there for me throughout my life. So it's like, even not having a mom, her sisters were there when it was time.
Man, shout out to them for real. Now, Fremont High School, you know what I'm saying? You would also go to Westchester, Now, how was the relationship with Tyler, the Creator? Because you would meet Tyler, the Creator at Westchester High School. And Westchester was like one of them schools, because I went to high school in 2007. So by then, Westchester was in full stride. It was like the best school to go to. I went to Crenshaw, football, you know what I'm saying? Westchester couldn't see us in that. But, Westchester was like the best school. So what were some of the things that was going on up there that made Westchester so popular?
I mean, for me, I was bused from the east side, so just being at Westchester, it was a total different world. People dressed a total different way. People, like, it was just different, and it was either like figure it out, fit in, or be that kid over there. And I wouldn't say that I all figured it out all the way, but I figured it out the best way I could for myself. But honestly, in high school, Tyler was funny. Me and Lionel were more close. Me and Lionel played football together. Me and Damo Genesis had a lot of class together.
Damo Genesis, shout out him, yeah.
Tyler, he was a cool person though. He rapped a lot. They used to be at the top of the hill. We used to be like at the bottom of the hill at the table. So like you would intertwine and see each other at different periods of time or throughout nutrition and lunch. But yeah, it was funny because back then, like when our future was coming up and Pushes was coming up, like we were all for the culture and for the coast, but we were doing it a total different way. With doing it a different way, you're around different people and experiencing different things. But yeah, Tyler was always cool in high school. Shout out Tyler.
Yeah, shout out Tyler, the Creator. As y'all know, he is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that so much talent was going there at that point in time.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like when you think about that back then, how do you feel about just that when you think about that time? Like, damn, we really all went to school together and we really all did this.
I mean, honestly, in that time, you don't really know.
Facts. Yeah.
You just living and you going through the motions and you're trying to be the best version of yourself at that time. And it's really like a tunnel vision until you look back at it, because at the same time, like, our future was always cracking. Like, they always were doing their own thing, but it's like we were doing our own thing. So we were so locked in what we were doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about another group, another side. You feel me? Like,
that was going on in high school while y'all, okay, I'm tripping. It sure was. While y'all was in high school, all that was going on.
Yeah.
Wow. So y'all was the niggas for real up there.
I mean, for me, I started throwing parties. In high school. When I was going to Fremont, I used to throw parties on the east side with my cousin John. And we used to throw them either in my auntie Olivia backyard or in my granny backyard. And, like, we was throwing $5 parties.
Yeah.
And, you know, this night it'd be good. This maybe next week it'd be bad.
Yeah.
Then the next week it'd be good. Next week, you know, like it had its up and downs. But it was really different from throwing the parties on the west side versus throwing the backyard boogies on the east side. And when I started doing the parties, the club kiss and all that on the west side, it was a different era. It was a different time. It was like more luxury. Like it wasn't everybody in the backyard standing around gangbang. Like that's what that was. You feel me? Like we had girls coming, but like when I started throwing parties on the west side, we had the bad ones,
huh?
You feel me? Like so like it was a different crowd, different era, and it was like trying to program myself to not be so one-sided, one-track from what I know to embracing everything else that was going on the west side because, you know, the west side always has a lot of things going on.
And you had to learn that early. That was see that right there? That's big business right there. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I got to be able to move around, so I have to act accordingly in order for this to be okay over here. I feel that. So, now, this would also lead to, from Club Kiss, you know, Buffalo Soldiers, OG Cycle. Y'all used to paint cars. Y'all used to paint cars by day. Let's talk about painting the car. What is a painting a car? How do you do that?
Well, it's crazy because OG Cycles, it was in Compton, but I actually did tattoos at the time.
Right.
So I had like a little cubby hole that we turned into a tattoo shop. I was doing tattoos in there in the daytime. Casey was handling his business, moving around, and OG Craig, he painted old school classic cars, and he painted motorcycles during the day. And literally, soon as nightfall hit, we had to clear all that stuff out from the cars, put it in the back and everything like that, and turn it into a club.
Man, straight like that. Now, shout out to Pusha Cam because you basically ripped the flesh off his arm with his first tattoo by turning his arm white. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's crazy because here's the thing, bro. You became a great tattoo artist, but it took you to mess up at first.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything takes time. It takes, you know, it takes work. It takes discipline. But, you know, I messed up on some of my homies. I messed up on myself. But, you know, like, it was all a learning experience. But, you know, all those people, it's crazy because I still run into people to this day. And they say, oh, you did my tattoo back in whoop-de-whoop. And I was like 16, 17 doing tattoos. And it's just like, the tattoo ain't even the best of tattoo, but it's the memory, it's the setting, is this, is that. And it's like, oh, wow, it's crazy. I tell people you did my tattoo all the time, and they don't even believe it.
Yeah.
And it be like, damn.
Do you remember any of them? Do you remember any of them a whole lot? Okay.
Yeah, I remember. I'm better with faces than names.
I got
because,
that.
you know, and then especially when you spend time with somebody, if you're doing a big tattoo on them, you're not just sitting there quiet. You're having a real conversation. So it's like, you remember those moments and you remember about having a real conversation, so you never can really forget about somebody who you actually really had a conversation with. But somebody you just dap up, shake hands one time, you might forget their name, but you'll remember their face.
Do you remember the hardest tattoo you did?
Yeah.
What was the hardest tattoo?
Man, I probably had been doing tattoos for like 6 months.
Oh, he was
maybe
early.
7 months. And like I was good at doing like Chinese letters and little graffiti stuff and names. I could do all that easy. A motherfucker wanted me to do a portrait.
Oh.
I told him I ain't never did a portrait before.
Yeah.
And they still wanted me to do the portrait.
Was it the price? You was just doing it the cheapest?
Bro, I told them $200 and they still wanted me to do the portrait.
It was the price. It was the price. You got them with the price.
Nah. But bro, yo, it's crazy because it's like, yeah, it came out good, but it came out bad.
But how was they feeling about it? Was they good?
They was honestly happy about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all that matters.
You know, as somewhat of an artist, you know, you gonna always critique your work and you always gonna look at the real and look at what you did and be like, yeah, it's not. But it was that. It was just a little, you know, I never did a portrait before, so I didn't know about the different techniques of lining and watermarking and stuff like that. And so it was like, it was a lot of heavy shading.
Yeah.
It looked like his mom,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of heavy shading.
Yeah.
But you know, his mom had just passed, so it was
It was something that
Yeah.
he needed it. Yeah, I feel
Facts.
that.
So
I feel that, man. Shout out to that. Now, when you did these tattoos, did you feel accomplished? Did you feel fulfilled? Like, you know, this is what I feel like I should be doing.
honestly, at the time, I was just in the moment, and
trying to make
that
your
was
bread.
that
Yeah.
was my hustle. It was like either I'm going to flock, I'm going to hit something, or I'm doing some tattoos.
More productive.
And
More
yeah,
productive, more safe.
you know, you gotta at some point it's not just changing the way you move, but it's changing your mindset and being okay with going to do a tattoo for 2 hours for $50, $75, and it's legit, and it's still your time. It's on you
Yeah.
versus going out and doing something that ain't, and it's like it's really not on you. Like the risk is worse than the reward. Like yeah, you don't get a couple dollars, but that shit gonna go fast.
It's gonna go real
You
fast
feel
too.
me?
Yeah.
And it's like that was one of the things that really helped me institutionalize myself on just changing, like, and accepting the dollar.
Did somebody sit you down and had a conversation with you, or was that just something you just?
Shit, I had a crazy ass situation, and it just like it wake you up. You feel me? And it's like a real homie gave me an ultimatum, and you feel me? And it was like, yeah, you can do that or you can do this. But if you do that, fool, I can't fuck with you like that, cause nigga, you putting me in jeopardy with you. And you feel me? Like when somebody tell you something like that, and you sit back and you think about it, and you like, damn, that could stop everything. You feel me? You reverse, and you like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take these sacrifices today because they gonna benefit me tomorrow. Like, and then that changed my whole mindset.
That's a beautiful thing because it's a beautiful thing that you were able to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And you were able to actually process it. Some people have that conversation and be like, "Fuck it, I'm still going." You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta have real people around you.
Yeah.
You gotta have real people around you, and who want to see you do better and want to see you win also. And it's like at the same time, with those people that's around you, like if y'all not having uncomfortable conversations, y'all not real friends. Y'all just sitting there wasting time. Like so, like conversations like that, and then people giving you reasons change everything. You know, like something else to hunger for, something else to live for. You know, it gives you a different drive.
That's a fact.
Cause like I did parties, that was cool. It was money. Yeah, people knew me, but like, what did it really mean?
Right.
I was doing tattoos. Yeah, I was making a little money. You know, it was keeping me out of trouble. It was busy work, but what did it really mean? It wasn't nothing to be like, oh, this can be your future. This can change your life. Like, cause I ain't want to do tattoos forever.
Right.
It was a hustle.
Yeah.
I started doing tattoos off a humbug. Like we went to a tattoo shop that just opened. You feel me? They didn't have clients like that. We said let us have a tattoo party here. Cracked off the tattoo party,
and it went up.
Yeah, and then the OG started talking to a nigga, and I'll tell him like, yeah, I be tagging and shit. You know, I can. He's like, oh, you ever thought about doing tattoos, bro? And I was tattooing like in a week. Like a week later, I was working in the tattoo shop. Like I was his apprentice, but nigga, I wasn't no apprentice.
Yeah.
I was really out there tattooing after my first week. Like, so it's like
getting it in.
Yeah, but it's like that was his dream, his goal. Like he was a street nigga, and tattooing saved his life and changed him. So he got a tattoo shop. That's what he did. You feel me? But it was cool. It was for some money, but that wasn't my career. So like somebody else give you something that's real, something to hold on to make you think different. It changes everything.
No, that's right, man. And shout out to that. And speaking of uncomfortable conversations, you spoke on bumping heads with Dash. Now, you and Dash would do a lot of work. Y'all would bump heads, but one of the things that you said was that made us closer.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we live in such a time where it's easy for people to just be like, man, fuck, I ain't messing with you no more. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like you go through that with all friends at some point. But it's like bumping heads, and when it's honesty behind it, it's not really a bump head. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what comes from it, like if there's honesty on both sides and both sides got a point, like y'all either agree to disagree, or y'all come to a better like understanding. You feel me? And from situations like that, we was going through situations like that, just trying to figure out and understand like the right sound for Dreezy. And she had her trust in us. So like, if she's trusting in us to help her figure out a sound and put her first album together, we gotta be here. But if you work one type of way and I work one type of way, how can we be here for her? So like, understanding like that and coming together and on an album really helped bring us close to like brothers. Like, and it's crazy because you'll know people for 20 years and then you'll know somebody else for 2 years, a year, but spend more time with them, get more understanding. Y'all brains on the same frequency, and it help each other grow more than people you knew for 20 years.
Man, that's a fact. Now, speak on this, man. Pride, ego. How much of that did you realize you had to put to the side once you got into them buildings?
Oh, I had a lot of pride. I had a lot of ego early on. It's because I was very young, and I came in the game with a team that was very successful. It took us a while to get successful, but everybody else, oh, y'all young, y'all got so much time ahead of y'all. Y'all don't know how this gonna be. But we like, nah, we gotta get this shit now. We gotta get this shit now. Fuck all
Facts,
that being
yeah.
an old head,
Yeah.
getting to start when we 30, and nah, we gotta get this now. So like, having that mindset with an inner circuit team, and then going into a bit, and then that team has success in every level. You get into a building feeling like, yeah, shit, we know what we talking about over here.
Right.
So it gives you a different type of arrogance and confidence, but you got to learn how to balance those things. But being in the building was a great experience for me. Like, I'll say, like, I got my master's degree in music.
And didn't have to go to school for
Didn't have to go to school for it. I was in the building for almost 8 years at Interscope. So you feel me? That's like going to college.
Yeah,
8
that's
years, you
like,
feel
yeah,
me?
get for
You
real.
go
That's
to
getting a
college
master's.
for 4
Yeah,
years.
for sure.
After that, you go get your master's. That's another.
Nigga might have a doctorate, actually.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, so I came in understanding certain things from a street aspect, but had the chance to be in a great building and learn all the back end stuff and what goes into breaking an artist and how things need to be planned out, and everything shouldn't be spared a moment. And if you give yourself more time, you have more leverage in everything you do. But those are the things you learn by being in the building when you're seeing, oh, this is what makes the whole machine move. A lot of times people don't understand how to make the machine move, but they understand how to make the culture move.
Yeah.
And it's like,
big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Because it's like the homie said, it's a difference between what is it? Working hard and hard. It was some shit like you can be moving in place and not going nowhere, or you can actually be moving and going somewhere. It's kind of like It's kind of like the same thing. So before you move on, I want to give a shout out to Rest in Peace Frog. Frog used to drive you around to have you do the tattoos and stuff like that. You used to give him $10. So here's the thing: you have been taking care of everything that you have to take care of for everybody around you. So shout out to Frog for doing that for you.
Man, shout out to Frog, man. Frog was a real homie. It's crazy because I ain't know Frog no crazy amount of years, but it felt like I knew bro forever. Like, we met through YG, we got cool, we stayed cool. I had a little car, my car broke down. I ain't had no way to get no money. Bro used to call me every day like, bro, come on. Come on, you got some tattoos? Come on, let's go do them. Bro used to sit there. We used to just chop it up. He used to take me, go do my little tattoos, run whatever, bro, just to help me get to the next level because he saw a different grind than me. And he was a solid-ass homie. Solid-ass homie. Like, some of the shit is crazy. Like, and it's just like, bro, you really just gonna sit with me? I gotta go do this tattoo. It's an hour away. You about to go take me an hour away, sit there while I do the tattoo for 2 hours, then we gonna have to drive back in traffic. He'd be like, Pyro, come
on. Straight like that. Man, shout out to him.
So it was like, situations like that would be crazy. And it's like he wasn't even, like, bro, the homie used to have all the gas. So it's like, he always was on full. So he like, bro, I ain't worried about gas, bro.
Oh, man.
You know, I ain't in the hood while I'm doing this. It's
Yeah.
so like we had a mutual understanding. You feel me? Like, and yeah, nah, bro was a good homie. Rest in peace, Frog.
Man, rest in peace, bro. Now, 8,500. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, Paramount. That's PC Hood.
Okay, because I seen this, and I thought it was like a click or something.
Nah, so Pushers, when Pushers originated, a lot of people from Pushers is like from Paramount and from the 8500s.
Gotcha.
8500s like this community in Paramount.
Okay.
That PC, shout out PC.
Shout out PC.
And shout out everybody else from the 8500s. Keep it 8500% shine, say shining.
Oh, okay. They got a whole slogan for that thing.
Nah, that was PC era. And a lot of people over there embraced me because of PC. You feel me? But yeah, that's in Paramount.
Man, shout out to that. Now, Big B, rest in peace. He was able to connect. You know, you've been knowing YG since 12 years old, but he brung everybody together in order for y'all, and this is where y'all would actually start y'all movement through Big B.
Yeah, so Big B was YG's manager, but Big B was also connected different ways. Big B brought Ty into the situation, brought Mustard into the situation to be YG's DJ, and just built the foundation of this house that we stand on here in LA. Like, it was from Big B. It was crazy because I was throwing parties and Big B was throwing parties, and it was like I went to one of Big B's parties one time and was passing out flyers, and it wasn't like the best party.
Yeah.
So then I guess bro was hot. Then somebody came to me saying, "Oh yeah, you can't go to none of Big B parties and this and that and this and that." So I'm like, "Well, shit, nigga, can't come over here, can't come around."
Yeah.
So it was like but it was like somebody else just trying to be in the middle of shit, trying to start shit. And then Ace, who's one of the founders of Pushers, he's Big B's little cousin.
Okay.
And yeah, I was doing my thing with the parties and everything like that. And when Ace and Rude Boy and them decided to bring me in, it was like, oh well, yeah, nah, Big B, you know, that's y'all people. Big B, he don't fuck with me, so I don't fuck with Big B.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it was like, nah, it ain't even. That ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be that, because if Big B didn't fuck with you, it would have been something else.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel me? I'm young, you know, I'm arrogant. I'm from the east side, you know, but, you know, you find out who Big B is, he a very respectable dude from the west side.
Yeah.
You feel me? And he always stand on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a conversation, and then that's when they brought me back. They brought me into Pushers. And then the rest became history from there.